Okay, so I'm a poet, and I just finished a project that I'm calling On Wounds and Wonder. And I was sort of, what I kind of do, that's sort of behind my work is I kind of pick a big theme and then I write on it for about 18 to 24 months, and sometimes good things come out, you know? And this time, I really wanted to talk about these two fundamental experiences of being human. These wounds that we experience from like our birth and onwards, and this wonder, this like incredible wonder of being human, that we have beating hearts and we can connect with one another, and that love seems to be in our relationships, at least most times. And what I did is I kind of had this question in mind. I wanted to ask myself, how do we sort of overcome the wounds that sabotage our life so that we can experience the wonder? And I thought, I can like find out through writing and writing and writing. And I found out that like my question was just messed up from the beginning. That wounds and wonder are never this either or. You somehow don't get over one and experience the other. But if you want real wonder in your life, you have to kind of go through the wounds. And we do a lot with wounds. We try to hide and run from them when the invitation in being human is to walk right into them. And that's scary and hard and not always fun. So I wrote all these poems, and I want to show you 4 of them tonight. All my friends are singer-songwriters, so I put music to my poems because that's just a lot more fun to do. I work with an electronic ambient musician named Dobsy. So this first one is called An Oracle of Sorts. People say hello and goodbye at Union Station. People coming and going, beginnings and endings. Some shake hands, others hug, a few cry. But the lucky ones always kiss. As I wait for a friend, the commotion of trains and people are an unavoidable diversion. A small child is screaming over his dropped ice cream cone, and on his cheeks a new flavor of chocolate and tears. A man is more attentive to the vibration on his phone than the voice of his wife. Her wedding party strides through the station like royalty. A gray-haired woman embraces her daughter's baby and in teeny ears hums a lullaby. A soldier kisses his daughter after years of only screens. A student dressed in black with a single bag sits weeping. A young woman waves goodbye to mom and dad and boards a train headed west. A homeless man tells his story for a cup of coffee. As I wait for a friend, I'm astonished by the gravity of humanity, desire and disappointments, the ache of longing, possibilities of history, the bowing, the bending, endless uncertainty. Aren't we flesh and bones, wounds and wonders in motion, sometimes free and other times tethered? The angst of our neighborhoods reflected at Union Station. Diverse histories clash and kiss. Flesh and bones connect and disconnect. Complex mysteries of turmoil and havoc. Can these wounds and wonders become one body? As I wait for my friend, I listen. Everything speaks, and I hear. Write these poems on wounds and wonder. Thank you. This next one, as I was going on this journey of wounds and wonder, the first kind of step for me in this journey was this internal, and this sort of looking at all these places and embracing the death that we all have to look at in our life. This one's called My Chest is a Forest Fire. In the dark hours before morning, raw wounds, buried fears, and dormant dreams, kindling sparks within me. Anxiety woke me in the dark hours before morning. Why must I carry this branding scar? Grief is just love that blisters on the inside. She sighed. Bursting pain is the beginning of healing. He consoled. Everything rising must go through the fires of resistance. She insisted. Anxiety woke me in the dark hours before morning. My chest a forest fire. We are fired into life with the madness that comes from the gods. Plato warned. And I couldn't bear the anguish, so I doubled out of my shoes and ran. I erupted with the dragon's fury as fresh air provoked my chest flame. Fumes of pain spewing into the air within me, rising again. Can anything ease this wildfire? I cried. I saw the shimmering stars, and my legs stopped pumping. Speckled across the dark horizon, stars sparkling. Their flickering stillness pulled me close. Flying spheres of fire spoke to my aching. Aren't we all burning diamonds passing? I prayed. Distant stars and human hearts, not so different, are they? Thermodynamic, supernovas, brilliant, then fading. In the dark hours before morning, I awoke. Through blazing constellations could God be seen. Planets are made by stars exploding. Black holes birth an expanding universe. Surrender to the mystery. You are becoming something new. Because some fires can only be consumed. Flickers, colors clash. An officer pulls the trigger, and another black life is lost. In a blur of pixels, in a whir of missteps, I watch dry-eyed. The recurrence, deafening. Under red skies, apathetic, I sleep. Why is this suffering, this misery of race, harrowing to face? Middle passage leg irons, the lash of a leather whip on flesh. Curses on buses and restaurants, skeletons, rattling, clamoring, battling from unnamed graves. Power and pigmentation, a story forged by lies, racial classifications. I'm deaf to the sorrows of difference. A mother cries and the earth rumbles. A father sighs and the sky thunders. Ancestry of violence. And I can't hear. Callousness traced through my white skin. Murder and ignorance. that I hear and feel. If I powered off my screens, became powerless, and listened. Thank you. It was really cool. I partnered with a Denver hip hop musician named Proxy, and I kind of had this idea in my mind of like, okay, I will write this poem about white apathy, and you will rap to us about like the 3 things that all white people need to hear. And he laughed, and I kind of didn't know how like naive I was sounding. He's like, "Is it only 3, Dale?" And it was hilarious. And then he literally sent me back that track with him just like, he said that viscerally he was just humming this tune. And I loved it. I thought it was just like beautiful, you know, to allow us to listen to the cries, to the wounds of the world, to our brothers and sisters. So, hey, I'm gonna leave you with a little hope. I wrote this last one, it's called A Song in the Dark. And there's no other like cool way to say this. I wanted to write like a Christmas poem that you could like sing in a bar, or that you could like share with like your uncle like in an unawkward way at the Christmas dinner table. So this one's called A Song in the Dark. Why did God become human? She asked with sincere uncertainty. Isn't it mysterious? God, fussing in a manger, crying on Joseph's arm, nursing from Mary's breast. What does incarnation mean? Why did God become human? He asked with forthright skepticism. Doesn't it all seem unbelievable? God, drinking sorrow's poison, crying in pain forsaken, dying on a criminal's cross. Why did God become human? The question whirls in our minds with heightened curiosity. Divinity swaddled in human flesh, kingdom come in a baby's breath, infinite being now finite, frail, contingent. Could this child mean that God is not against us in our minds where fears are, suppressing our dreams? She peers into the makeshift crib, and he sits beside her. Proud tears fall from her brown cheeks, and he holds her. They listen to his breathing as life with the child begins. Isn't it astonishing? God, fussing in a manger, crying from a cross, sharing life with us. Could this child mean God struggles with us in our hearts where love is, sharing our dreams? The child is born. Underneath the stars, wise men search, angels appear, and shepherds hear. Underneath the stars, the promise of love transforms all fears. Underneath the stars, the weary, the wounded, the seekers hear. A song fills the air. Gloria in excelsis Deo.